Hi friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Katerina, or Kat if you're new here, and this is my channel of everything cozy, bookish, and lifestyle related. And in today's video, we're going to be doing the year-end book tag. I can't believe it. We're at the end of the year. We are less than a week away from December, and we are just a little over 30 days to January of 2024. And I don't know how to conceptualize that. I cannot believe that this year has flown by so fast, yet at the same time it has felt so slow. Before the new year comes, there are some books that I want to read, and while I would love to get to all of them, the chances of me finishing my year-end TBR isn't the greatest. However, we are going to talk about them. So with that being said, let's get into the year-end book tag questions. And the first question is, are there any books you started this year that you would like to still finish? And the answer is yes. I have quite a few books that I've started this year that I didn't finish for one reason or another. And the first book is The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. So this was a book that I brought with me on vacation at the beginning of this year for my honeymoon. And as you can see, I did get a little bit of a ways into it. I think I ended up getting to part 2 of this book. And obviously we were quite busy on our honeymoon. We were adventuring up in the mountains and everything. And so finishing it definitely didn't happen. However, I would like to finish it. I absolutely loved The Final Empire. I loved the Mistborn trilogy, and I would like to continue that. And then another book that I didn't finish that was a new release this year that I had picked up and also stopped in the middle of because I'm a mood reader, and that's what mood readers do, and that is Stone Blind by Natalie Haynes. If you haven't read her other books that are mythology retellings, I highly recommend them. She does an amazing job at analyzing women in mythology and mythology retellings and how women are treated in Greek mythology and giving them a voice when they don't have a voice. And this one, obviously with Stone Blind, follows Medusa. Will I get to this before the end of the year? I would hope so. However, I don't think it's gonna happen. And then another book that I ended up picking up and not finishing when I started it was The Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. And this one, I do think it's because I'm struggling with the writing. And it's not because the writing's bad, but I feel like it's very slow paced and I wasn't really getting into it. I ended up making it to page 150 for this one, and I've stopped reading this book at least 3 times, but it's still one that I would like to finish. Once again, the hope is to get to it, but most likely not because it's not a priority read for me. There are a few other books that I did plan on reading and starting, but I've decided I'm just gonna push those ones off to 2024. Second question is, do you have any autumnal books to transition into the end of the year? I do. However, where I live, the autumn time of the year is gone and we are now into winter. And it's going to be deep winter soon where I am, where the snow is horrendous and it's piles and piles of snow. Antarctica wonderland here soon. However, there are some cozy autumnal books that I would like to read. And the first is a highly popular one that I actually have talked about in my autumn TBR video, and that is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This is a very popular book. A lot of people love it. A lot of people find the writing intricate and beautiful and the prose to be absolutely wonderful. I would like to get to this one by the end of the year. This is kind of a top priority read for me. And then another autumnal book that I would like to read is one that's actually currently on my November TBR. And if you haven't watched that video, it's where I use a TBR jar to choose the books that I read in November. And yes, I haven't gotten to it yet, and we have less than a week left of November, and that is Foxglove by Adeline Grace. Absolutely love Belladonna. It was wonderful. It was really enjoyable for a YA fantasy. I've heard a lot of people kind of feel meh about this book, which definitely makes me worried. I know that there are quite a few people that enjoy it. I would like to read this before the end of the year. However, if I don't get to it, it's one that I would definitely pick up for next year. Then moving on to question number 3, and that is there a new release you are still waiting for? And there's only one new release that I can think of that I'm really excited for, and it doesn't come out until December, and that is Heartstopper Volume 5. I just love everything about Heartstopper. I have an unhealthy obsession with cute, cozy things, and Heartstopper is like #1 for cute and cozy. I highly recommend it. It's one that I push everyone to read if they want just something cozy and happy and wonderful. I just need it, and it's the only book that I would potentially break my book buying ban for. So moving on to the 4th question. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? This one was a really hard one because all the books that I kind of wanted to read I've already talked about. This TBR is very big and I just don't think I can get to like 12 plus books before 2024. But that being said, the first book that I would like to get to is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. This is another one that I picked for a November TBR, and as you can see, I have not read it yet. This is one of my priority reads before the end of the year. Then we have Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This is one that I've also been very excited about, and I know so many people absolutely love this series. A lot of my fantasy YouTubers that I've watched, this is their #1 series that they love. And then the third book that I would like to read before 2024 is another big series. It's very popular, and that is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I can't tell you much about this one besides it takes place in space and there's trials, and my husband had gifted this to me for my birthday. I would like to read this before the end of the year. However, this is a full series, and when I start a series, I tend to like to have the other books in the series as well, so I don't have to stop and go and find it. Might be one that I wait for. So moving on to the next question. Is there a book that could still shock you and become a favorite of the year? And there's only one book. Well, granted, all of these books, like The Picture of Dorian Gray, The Secret History, those are all books that I could definitely see shocking me. There is one book though, and that would be The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. Read The Serpent and the Wings of Night. Honestly shocked me. Never thought I would love it in a million years, just because I'm not a fantasy romance reader or romantasy reader. I do prefer fantasy to be my main element in a book. So I'm thinking that I will feel just as shocked with The Star-Cursed King. Unsure yet. I still have been hesitant because this is another book where a lot of people said the first book was amazing and the second book wasn't that great. So I'll be surprised to see if I will enjoy this one as much as I did the first one. And then the final question is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? The answer to this is yes and no. So as I've talked about in my November TBR video, I don't really make reading plans. I don't like making reading plans. I don't like making TBRs because of the fact that I am such a mood reader. However, that being said, I do have reading goals that are set for 2024. I've started actually looking at all my goals for 2024, and one of my goal categories is reading, and I have started setting those reading plans and reading goals for next year. I do plan on making a video on my 2024 reset and going over my plans for 2024, my goals for 2024. So definitely keep an eye out for that video. But as for specific plans for reading, I mean, there are some big series that I would really like to get to. I would like to finish the Mistborn series. I would like to start the obviously Red Rising series. And then obviously I'm looking at all the new releases that are coming out next year. So what books am I planning on purchasing or getting from my library to read those as well? So there are some plans for next year, but they're not solidified plans. And I also have, YouTube goals that I would like to really get to when it comes to reading as well. So that pretty much sums up that question. So there are the books that I think I can get to before the end of the year. There are some that I would like to prioritize over others. Yeah, so that is the books and the year-end reading tag for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Also, in the comments below, let me know if there are any books that you plan to read before the end of the year, or if you have started your 2024 reading plans yet. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell to get notifications every time I post a video, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.